Going into the 2021 NBA season, we knew there were going to be surprises. First, there was a shortened season, only playing 72 games instead of 82. A virus made a strict schedule for all of the players. And in the regular season, we all knew that there's going to be teams that are going to be impacted by this virus and teams that are just going to surprise everyone in a positive or negative way. And in this season, the New York Knicks and Minnesota Timberwolves are surprising everyone in opposite ways though. Now before we get started in this video, it would be greatly appreciated if you subscribe to the channel. Here on the Mix channel, we make constant NBA content that you're surely going to enjoy. So make sure to drop a sub. Then also leave a like because it only takes 1 second, makes a really big difference, while also hitting the bell so you never miss an upload. If you're new, comment down below, I subscribe shout out. There, I'll shout you out in the next video, I'll heart your comment and reply to your comment. Today's shout outs are Ball Out. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, it helps out a lot. So with that being said, let's begin. First, starting with the Minnesota Timberwolves, they have currently the worst record in the NBA, and they're just not good. They're 27th in offense right now, and 24th in defense. Now, I understand many players have been missing games. D'Lo and Cat have only played 4 games together and 96 minutes, and when they play, they're a +1 net rating, and without just their 2 stars, the Timberwolves are trash. And just coming to the season, there were a lot of hopes for this Timberwolves team. They had Cat, a superstar at that time. And at that time, he was the best shooting big man of all time and was healthy throughout the whole season. They got D'Angelo Russell for Andrew Wiggins and a top 3 protected first round pick. They acquired Malik Beasley from the Nuggets, who wasn't playing much in Denver, and soon resulted in a 20-point per game scorer, and this year is their leading scorer. They then drafted Anthony Edwards, number 1 overall in the 2020 NBA draft, and Edwards has been getting better every game. Now, yes, he's averaging only 15 points, which is very good for a 19-year-old, but it's on pretty bad efficiency. But in the last couple of games, he's been averaging 20 plus points for the last 7 games. His slow start should be really expected, as this is a 19-year-old facing full-grown men. Not everyone is a LeBron James or Michael Jordan, so it makes sense why he's going to be a bit slow, and he's still only 19 years old and definitely has a bright future in the NBA. But then, he definitely has a lot of potential, but it's just, he's really confident from downtown, and yes, he is streaky, but his athleticism is insane. I remember watching him against the Lakers. He just took over in the 4th and 1st quarter. He drove right at Marc Gasol with just an athletic finish that he can definitely do. And that athleticism lets him finish strong against rim protectors that are pretty good rim protectors. Now, I'm not exactly sure how I feel about his fit with D'Angelo Russell, but I personally think still the Wolves should have drafted LaMelo Ball. You know, the Wolves don't get this shot to get a potential star who can also bring in fans. They are a smart market, is not good at the NBA draft, and is just not a well-run organization. And I can argue that they're the worst organization in the whole entire league. So, I mean, LaMelo, he's looking like the clear rookie of the year right now, and I think he definitely, yes, the fit might not be the best, but I think for a Timberwolves team like this, you have to go with best player available. Now, Edwards still has a lot of talent, and I feel like Edwards and LaMelo are going to be compared to each other right now, but you can't change the past, so I guess I'm cool with the Edwards pick. Another bright spot for the team is Naz Reid. He has a unique talent, can shoot a little bit, is quick on his feet, can protect the rim, is efficient, and could be a very good backup center for Karl Anthony Towns. In draft night, the Timberwolves also traded the 17th pick, Alexis Pokusevski, for Ricky Rubio and the 28th pick, who turned out to be Jaden McDaniels. And in this season, Ricky Rubio has been flat out awful, and they really need to trade him. I'm sure a team like the 76ers would want a playmaker who can defend and shoot, and maybe they could get a first of them. And if the Sixers get Ricky Rubio, the Timberwolves get a late first, I think that's a win-win trade. Now, just this Timberwolves team is in a really bad spot. They have injuries and virus problems, and they just have to go in hoping for the best, and only keeping their pick if it's in the top 3. Well, still, they definitely have to fire Ryan Saunders, who is a pretty bad coach, but they still got young pieces. But in a very tough Western Conference, it's gonna be really hard to make the playoffs. Now, moving on to a positive light, to the New York Knicks. Now, I think it's crazy for how much the Knicks culture has changed. Like 2 years ago, they were the worst run franchise in the whole NBA. They were terrible at drafting, taking busts like Frankie Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, over some other stars like Donovan Mitchell and Bam Adebayo. And they just also, as we all know, missed out of multiple free agents in 2019. Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, and trading Kristaps Porzingis to the Mavericks and taking that situation so bad. But acquiring Tom Thibodeau, drafting Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, and Mitchell Robinson, along with signing Julius Randle, they have 180 their whole organization. Currently being at a record of 14-16, 7th in the Eastern Conference. They are currently 26th in offense and 3rd in defense. Now, I think that if you want a strong foundation for a team that isn't very good, I think you should it's a lot easier to derive your team from defense than offense. Mainly because just looking at this team, this is just not really a good deep offensive team. And I think that it was really smart to get Tom Thibodeau to just change his whole culture around, mainly on the defensive side of the ball. Now, a main part of the success is Julius Randle, because he's been the next coming of Magic Johnson. He's averaging 23 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists on amazing efficiency. Now, personally, watching the JJ Redick podcast, he said that they are always locked in every night, paying attention to detail, and they're just really thirsty to win. And I think for this team that is very young still, and just being in New York, and there's a lot of pressure trying to win in New York, I think that they are definitely in a right position to win. Now, another person who has stepped up is RJ Barrett. He has had a really underrated season, like the whole 2019 class for some reason. He's averaging 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists on 42% shooting. Yes, the efficiency needs to go up, but he's still only 20 years old. IQ needs to start, no doubt. Get Alfred Payton out of here. He is top 5 in Rookie of the Year, and his floater might be the best in the league. He's a knockdown shooter, and he's just such an amazing pickup from just the draft. And actually, a fun fact: the Minnesota Timberwolves actually traded Emmanuel Quickley for Leandro Barmaro. Sorry if I say that wrong, but if the Timberwolves kept IQ, that probably would have been an amazing pickup, but definitely a very good trade for the New York Knicks. Mitchell Robinson is a solid rim protector, but he got hurt, so that's sad to see. Derrick Rose will be a big vendor for IQ, and trading Dennis Smith Jr., who is pretty trash, that's definitely a good deal for them. And I can definitely, surprisingly to say that in my own words, I could see them in the playoffs, and probably a bigger chance in the play-in tournament. They're still willing to make a big move, with assets in RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox, Frankie Ntilikina, and a boatloads of picks, having their own picks and the Dallas Mavericks picks, along with a couple Clippers picks. Maybe they can get someone like a Victor Oladipo or Bradley Beal, but it's always really fun to see the New York Knicks be good. So yeah, this is a different style of videos I've done. If you like this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comment down below what your thoughts on the Timberwolves and Knicks, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.